Hi everybody, this is Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations, and I'm coming to you today with a video tutorial on how I made this stationery box, organizer box. I'm not quite sure what you want to call it, but it is a box that holds. It opens like this, and it holds 6 A2 size cards and envelopes in here. You can put 3x3 cards there, or someone said today you could put your little sticky notes in there, so that would fit perfectly. And then this little pocket can hold tags or your postage stamps or something, but it's a cute little organizer box, and you can have your calendar attached here, and you can have your pen attached here. I made these with some friends today, and I posted the pictures online, and lots of people had questions and asked for a tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and try to make that for you now. So again, it's just really, really cute, and you put the lid on it, and it's a great gift idea for the holidays to go ahead and hand somebody this pretty little box with some cards in it, and so on. So I thought I'd go ahead and share that with you today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me move this one aside. All right, so let me just go ahead and get started. So lots of scoring instructions here, okay? Scoring and cutting. So I'm going to go through these with you first, and then we're going to go ahead and put one together. So this is how I make my little templates and my little cheats, okay? Your first piece of cardstock, which is the main portion of your box, okay, is going to be a piece of cardstock cut 10 by 12. So thankfully in the new Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog for the holiday season 2017, we have the Cherry Cobbler cardstock in 12 by 12, and that's what I use for this box. Along with some of our designer series paper. Coming October 1st, our designer series paper is going to be on sale, and I'll have more information about that posted below. So anyway, this piece is going to be cut 10 by 12, okay? And then I'm going to show you how we score that, all right? The next piece, also done in Cherry Cobbler, is going to be cut at 8.5 by 4 1/4, okay? The next piece of Cherry Cobbler is going to be cut 4.5 by 2. Another piece, 5.5 by 2. And then your lid, also in Cherry Cobbler, only I did it in light pink for my template, is going to be cut at 6 1/8 by 10 1/8. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk about scoring this piece first. And let me grab my scoreboard real quick. All right, so you would cut yourself a rectangle, again 6 1/8 by 10 1/8. You're going to score it at 2 inches, at 8.5 inches, okay? And then you're going to turn it around sideways at the 6 1/8 inch side, and you're going to score it at 2 inches and at 4 1/8. Okay, so that's how you would make this lid. And then you're going to go ahead and cut with your scissors. You're going to miter out these little sections, and you're going to cut right to the score line, okay, in those two places, because when we fold this, okay, this is going to make our tabs. So I have one over here that I'm going to put together with you in brown, but I can't see my notes on brown. All right, so I've got my edges. So we're going to go ahead, I already scored it, we're going to fold it, and we're going to fold it, we're going to fold this tab in, fold these tabs in, okay, and we're going to end up gluing it together just like that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get those folded, all right, and we'll end up gluing it together just like that. We're going to put our designer series paper on first. We'll do that in just a moment, all right? But that's how that lid goes together. So really easy way to make that lid, and that's what fits right on top of this box, okay? So we'll put that together in a second. All right, so your other piece. So this piece right here, okay, is going to be the piece for this pocket, and this is the one that will hold 3x3 note cards, or it's the one that held the sticky notepad, okay? And this is the piece that is 5.5 by 2. All right, so you're going to take your piece that's 5.5 by 2. You're going to score it at 1/2 inch, at 1 inch, at 4.5, and at 5. Okay, and then you're going to make this piece that goes like this. And you're going to put your adhesive here and adhere this right to this portion of your box. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with that little one. And that little one is 4.5 by 2. You're going to put it up in your scoreboard, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch, at 1, at 3.5, and 4. That's going to make that cute little pocket. Okay. Your big pocket right here is this piece. And this piece is scored at 1 1/4 and 7 1/4. And then you're going to turn it around and you're going to score it at 3 inches. Okay. And then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut out this little triangular section. We want this part to make our pocket. Okay. So we don't need that section. So I'll show you how that goes together too in just a moment. Okay. So then here is our back piece. Okay. And I know you can't see the whole thing. Let me actually clear my table here for a second so that you can. Move my scoreboard up. So this is your piece of cardstock that is 10 by 12. Okay. So let's go ahead and score my brown one together. All right. The very first thing that you're going to do, this is 10 by 12. All right. The easiest thing for me is on the 12-inch side, you're going to score it at 5 and at 7. Why is this important? Because when you turn it around and you score on your 10-inch side, your first score mark is going to be at 3/4, and you want to stop at your first score line. Okay. Your next score is a 2, and that one is going to go all the way down. Your next score is at 8. That is going to go all the way down. Your next score is at 9 1/4, and that 2 is only going to your score line. Okay. So that's why I scored the 12-inch side first, so that I had a stopping point. Okay. So like this one. All right. So then what I'm going to do, and I'm going to move my scoreboard now. I'm going to go ahead and get out my scissors. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and cut along the score line right up to this corner. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do the same thing again. Now, some friends and I made these today, and we whipped them up pretty quick, because once you start making them and you remember the measurements, it goes pretty fast. I'm going to go ahead and miter these corners just so that I can fold them and have no overlap, but we're keeping them for stability. So it doesn't matter that they're not perfect. We just want to be able to fold those puppies in. All right. So I got those out. All right. So what do we do now? Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold these on my score lines. All right. And I'm not going to give them tight creases. I am going to give these tight creases because these are going to be glued down to the bottom of my box for stability. And I'm going to give not this, but these tight creases as well. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, for my friends that I was with today, I did make an SVG cut file for this so that we could mass produce a little bit faster. At this time, I am not sharing that file. I am leaving that for my friends that got together as a bonus for being my friends, my customers, and so on. So, again, I'm not sharing that file, but I'm going to go ahead and show this to you by hand. All right, so this is ready to start to put together. So let me get some adhesive. and you want to get nice strong adhesive, liquid glue works great. I make a mess with it, so I'm going to use my ATG gun. All right, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to glue these down nice and flat. All right, and then we're going to take the adhesive again over here and glue these down nice and flat. All right, and this is going to add extra stability for your box. All right, so that's this piece. This piece is now ready to be covered in your designer series paper. So I am using, for this one, I am using the Painted Autumn designer series paper. It's just got some gorgeous colors in it. I love this particular pattern, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to glue this to the inside, and then both outside panels. All right, so let me go ahead and get that glued in there for you. And those pieces are cut 4 3/4 by 5 3/4, and you need 4 of them. Okay, and you can decide. You don't have to go with those measurements. You can decide if you want to, you know, double layer your mats or single layer your mats. It's totally up to you. But that was the size that I found fit best because I like seeing that nice brown border. So again, I love both sides of this cardstock, but I just really wanted to use the sunflowers. I am in love with the Painted Autumn, the Painted Harvest stamp set. Oh my goodness. I'm just in love with this whole suite. So let me go ahead and get this paper on. So once you do your cuts and your scores, like I said, and you get used to it, these boxes are really, really quick to put together. They're going to make great holiday gifts if you want to go ahead and give a teacher gift or a coworker gift or something. Using this and then making some handmade cards to go inside it, I think would just be a great addition that everyone would love. Okay, so this is the outside of my box. So when my ladies were talking today, they decided that they would cut panels for the inside here too. I only cut them for the outside, but you know, it might be something I would do is add them to the inside. But anyway, I cut these for the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on. Let's go ahead and get this one on. All right. And basically, once you do this, your box is ready to have the pieces added to it. All right, because this is the main part of your box. So let's go ahead and set this aside for a moment. And let's go ahead and finish our lid. Okay, so I used another piece of the pattern from the Painted Autumn cardstock. All right, and that is the front side looks like that. And this is the back side. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and layer those on my lid. All right, and those pieces are cut 1 7/8 by 5 7/8, and that's for the centerpiece. The back and front are cut just a little bit different. They're 1 3/4 by 5 7/8, so just a little bit different. Honestly, you can cut them all the same size; it would fit just fine. But that lid on the very top is just a smidgy wider. And that is for, just because of the way it fits on your box. All right, so let's go ahead and get those on. I like both sides. I decided I wanted to use the stripes when I was getting this together because I thought it went really nicely with the leaves. And one more. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put adhesive on these tabs. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down so it's nice and square. Okay, on one side. And let's do it on the other side. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on these tabs. And I find that my ATG holds just fine. You can use your red line tape, you can use your score tape, you can use your tear and tape. Again, you can use liquid glue. I'm an ATG junkie. I love my ATG gun, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that. All right. So I have those sides glued together. Let me go ahead and get my 2 little pieces for the sides, and my 2 little pieces are cut 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 square. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and put those on just like that. And this one. And my lid is done. So someone had asked me how long it took me to make the boxes. Well, it took us about 20 minutes today to make those. So they made one with by hand, and then they made one with the cut file. So it took about 20 minutes for each one. Not long. Not once you get used to it. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead, and this is the large panel. Again, for right inside this box. This one right here. All right. So let's go ahead and put our cardstock on there. I remember we scored this one, and then we cut the corners out. All right. And I decided to do this in this green stripe. All right, and this is cut 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. And again, you can make it whatever size you want. I have a large brown border showing. If you want to double layer it, just adjust your sizes. Not a problem. Okay, so the big thing with this one, we are going to put adhesive right here. And then we're going to line it up and attach it right to the bottom of the score line. Okay? So let me go ahead and let me adjust my light here for a second. All right, let me go ahead and put the adhesive on. And I'm going to put 2 lines of adhesive on. All right, and I am going to go right to the edge of that score line. Okay, and attach it really well. I am also going to get my bone folder and burnish it because I really want to make sure that it stays nice and tight. Okay, all right. So we've got that. We're going to go ahead and put some adhesive on that. That's going to close our box. There's your stability. There's the base of your box. Okay, so let me go ahead and get some adhesive on here. And some adhesive on here. Okay, and I'm going to stand my box up. And I'm basically going to line it up, get it into that score line, and tack it. Line it up, get it into that score line, and tack it. Make sure it looks good. And then I'm just going to burnish those sides. All right. So there right there is the stability of your box. Okay. So you could go ahead and put your lid right on if you want to. But we're going to add our other pockets first. Okay. So we have our 2 little pockets. This is our 5 1/2 piece. And on our 5 1/2 piece, our mat is going to be 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. And that's this one right here. Let's go ahead and put this one on. I'm actually having a thought. Do I want to go with yet a 3rd set of colors and do it that way? I think I do, actually. So I love double-sided paper for that reason. So I'm actually going to put the adhesive on that side. And stick this on just like that. Because I think that's kind of cute. All right, so then this piece, this is our little one. And our little one, this one is 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, let me go ahead and put my adhesive away. for right this second, because I'm going to bring out my tear and tape for those. All right. Perfect. All right, let me get my tear and tape, because this is a little bit narrower. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on these tabs here. This is clearly not one of my 5-minute Friday videos. This one needs to be a little bit longer to get the whole tutorial in. So hang in there, I am almost done. All right. Let me go ahead and make sure that adhesive is on there good. Let me get my spatula so I can pick that off. On that one, I'm going to put that right there. Let me get it off this one. Really? Okay, that's fine. All right, so I'm going to put my big one on first, and it doesn't matter which side you put it on, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to line this one side up right here. Okay, and I'm going to push it down. All right. Great. So I see where I did not get the adhesive all the way on the end there. So I'm just going to use a glue dot real quick. And I'm just going to stick that in there under the designer series paper, because for whatever reason I didn't get it all the way to the end. And that's okay. There we go. Perfect. All right. So there's that. And then I'm going to lay the box down and make sure that that's square, and it is. Whoops, it was. Let's try that again. Lay it down, make sure it's square. Oh. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's that piece. Okay, let's go ahead and put our other one in. And again, I'm going to start from the outside edge because I'm going to line it up with the score line. Right there, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put this piece down. And I'm just going to use my other piece for stability. All right, get it down there. Attach it. All right, and then I am going to grab just a little bit of my fine tip glue pen. And I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right in between these pieces. Just a little bit. Oh, okay. A little bit too much, but it's all right. A little bit too much. It is not always easy doing this with the camera right here. All right, so I made a little mess. That's fine. We're just gonna squeeze this together and hold it, and it'll be just fine. But this way, again, the word stability, it holds it in place. All nice. And that is basically your box. All right, so all you're going to do is you're going to fold it up. You're going to put your lid on. You can put a piece of ribbon around the outside edge. You know, whatever you want to do. To make the little pen holder, and I'll show you with this little piece of designer series paper I have left from the holiday box that I made. To make this, I'm just going to go ahead and take the pen. I'm going to wrap the piece of paper around it. Not tight. It's rather loose. Okay. Glue it shut here. And then squeeze it to make it flat. And then you can just go ahead and glue it right down to the tab. Nothing fancy. But it works. And it looks cute. And yeah. So anyhow, that is how I made that stationery box. So here is another one. Here is the original one. And again, I thank you for asking. I thank you for liking it. I thank you for asking me to make a tutorial. So I hope I answered all those questions for you. If you have any other questions, my email is below. If you are interested in any of these products, I am at randycollins.stampinup.net, and I'll be happy to get you anything you need. So again, Thanks for watching. This is Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations, and have a great day.